This would be where these two meet. So there should be support in this vortex area. It's very likely they're going to be a support. So if Bitcoin pumps up tomorrow on Wednesday, this might be a good time for people who haven't got into Luna but that believe it's going to go up, should be getting in at this, because this is the bottom for Luna. So if you haven't already got into Luna Classic and you're believing the prophecies that it'll go up, then it's possibly these times. Now, most likely we're gonna, as a trade only, we'll hit one of these targets of 22.89 or 25.42, and that's going to be, you know, a good few $1,000s for a lot of people, depending on how much Luna they actually have. But in the dream, I also saw that we came down to a low number, and I thought we came down to one of these numbers again, but I'm not sure. I just remember that it went low during these times. So what this means for us is that it's possible that some of you guys may want to take a little bit of profit when we hit high. If Bitcoin crashes, it may pull Luna down. We've also heard it prophesy somewhere that when Bitcoin crashes is the times when Luna is going to pump. So I'm just going to take a few small profit here just in case, and then if it goes back down, I'm going to use that profit and I'm going to buy up possibly at some of the low numbers. Some people saw it go very, very low because eventually, you know, when Bitcoin falls, it's going to fall to like 14, then 10. It's going to hover, and then from 10, sometime between that 10 area and 10, 11,000 area is when a hack happens, and then it's supposed to go to 0 Bitcoin for a little bit. So some people also want to make sure that you have your low Bitcoin orders ready to go in USDT or USDC at around under $200. Some people have it at 20 cents. Some people have it at $1. Some people have it, 15 cents. Every person's different. I have some at like 20 cents. I have some orders to buy Bitcoin at 20 cents. I also have some to order around $200. So I hope to get fulfilled with even just one Bitcoin, because when Bitcoin recovers, Prophet Robin said months ago that when it does recover, it's only going to recover to around 13,000 or so, and it's going to be a subpar recovery is what he said. So I saw a dream that it was around 11,000. So it may recover quickly back to 10 or 11,000 and then slowly recover to 13,000 over time. But a lot of cryptocurrency is going to really boom during those times, because you're going to see stuff at the bottom of the barrel, and it's going to be easy to buy up almost any coin and watch it recover. But the time to buy is when it's a bloodbath. You're going to know it. Everything's going to be down. Everybody's going to be like, what happened? That's the time you're going to spend some money and gobble up your crypto. So if some people want to move out of some of their cryptos in a day or two after Wednesday or before the 29th, some of you guys are going to want to move out of some of your cryptos and keep some USDC, possibly some USDT, but there's problems with USDT. You may want to have some of those cryptos ready to go so that you can gobble up some of the cryptos that fall, because they're going to be cheap. You can buy up Shiba, you can buy up XLM. Probably Shiba is going to be popular. You can buy some Doge even. But XRP is going to be the one that's really going to be the one you want to buy, especially if there's any kind of military or movement or anything like that regarding that kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about. If that happens, and it's possibly already happening, if it happens, you want to make sure you get a good portion of XRP, because when the switch comes back on, if there's any kind of military stuff, it's possible there's going to be a period of time where the internet is not working, or as some people in those communities have called it, a 10 days of darkness. Mr. Poole posted a video recently, and Mr. Poole, people say what they will about Mr. Poole. His images and his videos are usually very, very accurate, very, very accurate. And one of his videos, he talked about a nuclear scare, and we heard from various comms and various intel communities that there is both prophetic and other intel communities, that there is going to be a very strong possible release of information that's going to be not really true. To some degree it'll be true, but to some degree the information will be manipulated, and it could have to do with nuclear things. Now we don't really know all all of it, but God's kept telling us, warning us over and over again to not be afraid, but to follow the leading of the Holy Spirit and to be ready to what He says. Okay, but to not be afraid, most of all. Don't be afraid. But you're going to hear things that's probably going to be very scary. It's very possible we may have a nuclear scare. And Mr. Poole warned us of some of these things. And he told people in one video, you can hear an announcer, and people couldn't make it out, but I had headphones, I could clearly make out what they were saying. And in the video, they basically said, this is the National Guard, or this is the United States, I want to say it was like the military, something like United States military, National Guard. Please, this is not a warning. This is not a drill. Seek shelter immediately. Make sure that you have a bag packed with food and water enough to last you 14 days. So it was like something like 10 to 14 days. So that's basically what the video said, and it sounded like an announcer saying this is not a drill. You need to make sure you have food and water and shelter for 10 to 14 days, because you may have to hunker down for a bit. So if that happens and that matches up with some things we've heard years ago, but if it matches with anything that's happening soon, then make sure you're ready with food and water and shelter, and make sure you're ready with your low Bitcoin orders, because when the markets go turn back on, you're going to see chaos. You're going to see candles going all over the place for a time. Just sit down with diamond hands. Things will recover. Don't panic when things crash. Some of you guys are going to end up selling at the bottom, and you shouldn't be selling at the bottom. Just hold. Things will get back to normal. Okay, but it's going to look like there's blood in the water, and everybody's going to be like, oh no, everything's never going to come back on. No, I don't think that's this time. I think there's going to be a big recovery in the markets, but some cryptocurrencies there won't be a recovery, and that includes Bitcoin. So again, if you guys are buying Bitcoin, you need to tell your computer, get out of Bitcoin around 27 to 28,000. Yes, it's possible it hit higher, maybe even 30,000. One person in our group said they heard it from the Lord that they can get out at 30,000. They may put at 30,000. That may not be for everybody, but maybe it's for you. You need to get out closer to 30,000. But again, you just want to be careful of what's gonna come, and I'm letting you all know some of the things that you may want to consider. Make sure everybody's ready with the possible moves that are about to happen, because it's very possible those moves up or down can start on Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday is tomorrow, because some of the numbers start coming out. There's 3 days of big numbers coming out. 3 days of big numbers coming out starting tomorrow, leading all the way up to Friday. And I believe possibly Friday is the day we'll start to see the bloodbath, or it may be the final day before the big crash. Okay, that's just what things are looking like at the moment. Okay, but I see the crash still coming in the market. And with that said, we're going to look one last time at XRP for today, and then I'll everything in this video is not financial, investment, or trading advice of any kind. Everything is just for entertainment, educational, and comedic purposes only. Bear in mind that I eat red crayons for breakfast, and so should you guys too. But if you get sick, please remember that eating red crayons and trading in the markets carries substantial risk. Never eat more red crayons than you can afford to throw up, and never trade more than you can afford to lose. Please read between the lines per my YouTube disclosure. I'll look at some requests, and then after our